As was requested by one of my fans, a year-to-date review or a summary. It's been a big year. I'm very tired. So it started the year with an EP drop. From the Shadows EP came out. And I'm still learning a lot about releasing music as an indie artist. And every time I do another release, I'm learning more about the marketing and promotion that goes into it and to prepare in advance. So from the Shadows, I was still learning about being prepared in advance. I had a long way to go. When it first came out, the numbers weren't so good, to be honest, but it has been a bit of a slow burn. It is getting better as time goes by, which I'm truly grateful for. Following that, I had an interview on a podcast, which was really cool. It was an hour-long interview. I hadn't done an interview previously. I was well nervous. It was with the Aquarius Musician Witch, so it tackled sort of music and it also delved into more sort of philosophical sort of topics as well. We had an hour to chat, so we got real deep. That was fun. For the following months after that, I did a lot of editing practice. I opted for short form content, so shorts, reels and TikTok. Because I hadn't had much editing practice beforehand, shorts allowed me a shorter amount of video I had to edit per video to release. So that way I could learn a lesson, move on to the next one, learn another lesson. And with every lesson comes knowledge, and with knowledge comes wisdom. Later in the year, I then pulled my money I'd previously made from gigs and royalties, and I purchased a domain and set up a website and associated merch store. That was a learning experience, but I'm totally grateful for it because towards the end of this year, I got a rather large tip/donation in the tip jar at the bottom of my website, and that's helped me enormously. So thank you to that person. Now, you know who you are. You didn't want me to mention who you were, but thank you. And then after that, I set up YouTube, especially with the uncertainty around TikTok. I thought I better not have all the eggs in one basket. Plus, I was wanting to kind of push myself a bit more beyond the short form content. Try to delve into more longer form content because my song releases are technically long form content. A lot of them go over 3 minutes. So I thought I'll try my hand sitting in front of a camera and chatting for a bit and see how we go. And then on the 21st of this month, I released the second EP for the year called Compounding. And this time I learned a lot from the previous release earlier in the year. So I had all the artwork ready, I had all the merch ready, I had basically everything ready. So on release date, I just had to update everything. So the websites, the banners, all sorts of associated media, the mailing list, but I had it all pre-written so that way it wasn't as much of a scramble. It's always still a scramble on release day for indie artists because we're not outsourcing it, but it wasn't as much of a scramble, so that was a weight off my shoulders. And in addition to that, previously TikTok had announced that unless you're paying for Pro, you're stuck with the watermark. And they made the additional change that unless you're paying for Pro, you couldn't export in 1080, you could only use 720. So I did a whole heap of videos, including video clips and short form videos, and all manner of content in preparation of that. So 7 days notice I was given, so I did a bulk upload. And then I was able to schedule a whole heap of stuff on YouTube, and I'm trying to figure out how to schedule on Instagram. I'm not quite figured that out yet. But on YouTube, I was able to schedule 2 short form content and every day and 1 long form content every second day up until the end of January, going into February. So that lightens my load enormously. And I'm going to try to keep on top of that and keep adding to it because I am going to have to start working more and more in a full-time job sense to get some capital up so I can tour this year. So that means I won't have as much time to create new content. So if I can get a lead on that, that's brilliant. And finally, which I'm really, really happy about, the fans came together. They provided a whole heap of suggestions for the fan name, and then I gathered all those names and I put them into a poll on my website, and they all the fans came forth and voted and decided, and I'm so stoked with what they decided. And it was the Wizzies. Huzzah! I did up a website for that, and I'm going to do merch for that in coming days. I haven't had the chance yet. And the logo for that is now available on my website, so if anyone wants to download it to use it, hey, we're all Wizzies. So it's been a big year, and it's New Year's Eve tonight where I'm filming this. So, well, technically New Year's Day now, so we're going into the New Year, so I'm looking forward to see what the New Year brings. I'm very hopeful, I'm very hopeful. Alright, blessings to you all. Rock on!